Hey you guys, this is going to be the soft-spoken version of my kind of like tracing with brushes and brushing video. I've got a bunch of little paint brushes that I'm going to be running over some different surfaces, such as this pillow. This pillow has some great designs as well that we can kind of trace out. So again, some tracing, some tapping, and some brushing sounds are what you can expect from this video. And there's a no talking version as well, for those of you who prefer it. So this is our first item to brush with. It is a paintbrush, artwork painting brush, not like a house painting brush. I left it in something recently, some like Mod Podge or something, and it got hard. I have to clean it out, but it made a really cool sound being hard like this. So I actually like it like this. I have some brushes that are soft also, which you'll hear in a minute. But this has a wood handle and this metal in between the wood and the bristles. And you can kind of trace these little designs on the pillow with the brush. So I came up with this idea because I had grabbed some of these brushes and I was playfully going like this on the pillow, and I was like, whoa, that sounds really good. And my husband was laughing like, oh, I'm gonna go make a video with it right now. So I grabbed some other brushes and they made some great sounds as well. I have a pillow and I have a blanket underneath the pillow for the next object we're gonna brush, and then I have this book, so it's like a harder surface, and they all have really cool sounds with each of the different brushes, kind of painting materials that I have. There's these little kind of L shapes, and they're all intertwined to make a larger design. And then inside those are some turquoise pieces. It kind of looks like the turquoise is the background and these white L's are kind of on top of it, is what it kind of looks like. Are any of you guys familiar with the artist called MC Escher? MC Escher? This pillow design kind of reminds me of that actually, because he does these designs where when you look at the picture, it looks very like 3D, like you're looking down at steps that go this way, and then steps that go this way, and steps that go this way, and steps this way. But then you look closely and it's a 2D painting, but he's done it in such a way that it looks like things are overlapping each other in a 3D fashion and dimension, but it's just 2D. So that's what this design sort of reminds me of. It kind of looks like this is going under and over, but it's obviously really not. It's just 2D. It's not possible. I'm sure you could look up the name MC Escher online and see some of his artwork. I think Escher is spelled possibly like E-S-H-E-R. I'm probably a little bit off, but if you put that in, the correct spelling will probably come up. Okay, let's check out our next paintbrush. You can see all the paint splattered everywhere on this. Okay, so this paintbrush is soft. These bristles are very soft. So completely different from the last brush. Again, it's got this metal that is holding in these bristles and attaching to the wood base here, the handle of the paintbrush. This is an older paintbrush by Sable Essence, number 4421. It also has paint on it. Makes a much different sound than the other brush. It's a much lighter sound, soft and light. You can paint in these turquoise spots. This is like I said, an older brush, so you can kind of see that the bristles are quite worn and coloured throughout the years. B R U. I have to figure out the S this way for you. S H I N G. Okay, let's grab our next item. This is a bit different than a brush, but it kind of makes great brush-like sounds on this pillow. This is a kind of tool that you can use while you're doing artwork, and it basically spreads out whatever medium that you're working with. So acrylic paint, or sometimes, like, I actually used it for molding paste, which is like a really thick white goop that you can spread onto a canvas, and then you can like make designs into the thick paste, and it's quite pliable because it takes a long time to dry. So if you mess up, you can just wipe right over it, and you can start again. It's very similar to like what you would find people use for cake decorating, in a sense, because of the way that you spread the frosting onto the cake. Man, if there's an ASMR video out there by like a cake decorator who knows how to do that, I'd totally watch that. Do you guys know of anything like that? Like swirling like the frosting onto cupcakes. I've always wanted to see something like that. Maybe I can figure out how to do that. Like how with a piping bag and the way they do the swirl in the little up part. I'd like to see something like that. So yeah, it's just like a simple plastic tool. I'm sure people have nicer ones than this, but it works for me. Let's trace out those little L shapes. There's so many of them, and some doing little loops down here which you can't see in the camera, but if I pull this back you can kind of see some of the loops. The last tool I'm using for this video, but again I'm going to do all these different tools on each item I have, the blanket and the book, but this is the last thing I'll use on the pillow, and it's like this foam brush. You can kind of dab it into paint or Mod Podge or whatever medium you're using, and then you can do like sponge like dabs like this, or you can paint with it. It's really like flimsy. These are just like, you can get packs of them, but this is definitely not good if you want to be doing a lot of painting or something. It's just like a little foam thing, and they easily break off and stuff. But I've used this for some different like projects here and there. It's got some like dried paint or glue or something on it, but it helps make an awesome sound. Has a bit of a more husky sound to it, like a deeper. If you're doing like an art project with little people, you can use like little ones, you can use these for them. soft blanket. So we're back to this first paintbrush that has this great sound because of the hardened bristles. So it's great brushing along this little soft blue blanket. This is just a tiny little blanket, and it's got this really nice soft material. It has a bit of an edge here. It's so soft actually on this side, but I want to do this side because it gives a little bit of some resistance to the brushes. Check out what our softer brush sounds like on this surface. Much softer. So soft that sound. Move it slightly closer to our mic so you can hear it just a little bit better. Those are the soft bristles. So as you can tell, I tilted the camera down so you could see this better. That pillow was so big that I had to lift the camera up so you could see the top of it. Update on the MP3 thing. I've told you guys in a couple of videos that we are working on getting MP3s for you guys. I'm going to film a whole video on it telling you how you can get those videos quite soon actually, because we're making progress. We just need to tighten things up a bit before we can do that. But I had basically tons of people request MP3s that I make MP3s of my videos so that if you don't have Wi-Fi you can still fall asleep or relax to the sounds of the videos. In that case you don't have the visual, but it's just if you need the sound. I did not realize how many people wanted that. I've said before in the videos, I've mentioned this, that someone made that comment and that request and like 47 people had pushed like within a very short period of time. I have no idea how many people have pushed like on that comment as of now. I should look back, but you know, it's rare to get that many likes on a comment that quickly. So I should look and see how many people have continued to push like on that. So, seeing as it was a great demand, if you will, a great interest, a desire, we are making that happen. God willing, we are. Okay. Next, we've got our plastic tool that can kind of smooth things out. This is not the way you use the tool, but let's see what sounds we can get. You hear under there? That's our third item. Coming soon, it's the book. I love that, the pulling of the blanket, the way the fabric is moving and getting pulled like that. It's really nice. Okay, and our little foam guy. Let's Let's see what he sounds like on the blanket. It's got a real nice the way it pulls against the material. You can see it's leaving behind a little bit of foam, which is no big deal. This is, like I said, it's not a very, sturdy piece. It's just a little guy that you can use once in a while. But yeah, it's got a nice pull against that blanket. Some little fuzzy pieces coming off of this guy. Let's reveal the book underneath, and then we will brush on it too. So it's got a bit of a texture to it, this book, which is why I thought it might make a nice surface for these brushes as well. Here we go. So this book has a ridge in it back here, and it sounds great when this goes through it. Next, I'll put it here on my lap. Then we've got a soft one. This will be interesting to hear these sounds. You can really hear it on this harder surface. It's kind of a standard sound of like a paintbrush painting something. Soft and light strokes. Some rougher strokes. Some light dusting. Yeah, it almost looks like something you could dust with. Kind of reminds me of the original Beauty and the Beast, the like feather duster. You hear me? You see what I mean? Let's do some spreading. The book that we're using here is actually one of my favorite books, if not my favorite. It's actually a kid's book, but I think adults can really take away a lot from it too, actually. It's called You Are Special by Max Lucado. If you have kids, like I said, or adults, this is awesome, this book. I actually did a whole video on it when I first made my videos. If you go to like my page and you go in and find oldest videos first, you can like kind of look at people's channels by their newest videos are oldest. If you look at the oldest, you'll find this in like probably the first 10 or so videos, something like that. It's not talking, but I love this book, so I did a video on it. Okay, next, this one. I don't want to spoil the book, but the gist of it is it's about this little girl and this little boy. And the little boy, his name is Punchinello, and he lives in a village of people who have stars and dots on them. Oh, you know what? I've got to make a video reading this book. Yes. Maybe I'll do that soon. Maybe I'll even do it today or tomorrow. Okay, sorry, tangent. That'd be a good idea. But yeah, they live in a village of people that wear stars and dots on them, and they give each other stars and dots based on, you know, hey, you did something good, here's a star. You did something bad, like you fell down and you did a big accident or something, here's a big zero on you, like a big circle dot that's not pretty. And it's just interesting where the story goes from there. So yeah, if you see a video uploaded on You Are Special, check it out. It's a great book. Okay, let's pop our blanket back on. Okay, and then our big pillow. I'll show you our tools. Finale moment. Thank you guys so much again for all of your support and watching my videos and subscribing to my channel. I appreciate you guys all so much, and I hope you enjoyed the